Two men, 20 years, one argument that never, ever ended. You already picked a side. Everyone did. For 2 decades, football wasn't one sport, it was 2 religions, and you were born into one of them. But this summer, that argument dies. Not because someone finally wins it, because the clock ran out, on both of them at once. In 2026, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo walk into a World Cup together for the very last time. One of them has said the words out loud, "This is my last." The other doesn't have to. The calendar says it for him. And look, this isn't a stats debate. The trophy count is settled, you can look it up in 10 seconds. The thing that was never settled, the thing a scoreboard can't touch, is what these two actually came here for. So by the end of this video, I want you to ask yourself one question. Not who was better, the real one. Who actually got what they came for? And I promise you, the answer is not what you think. Stay to the end and I'll show you. Because to understand how it ends, you have to go back to where it started. The exact same place. 20 years ago, Germany, 2006. A 21-year-old from Madeira, an 18-year-old from Rosario. 2 kids at a World Cup on opposite teams in completely opposite stories. And nobody watching had any idea they were looking at the next 20 years of football. One was already a star, quick, flashy, box of tricks, desperate to be the best player alive. The other was a shy teenager who barely spoke, brought on as a substitute, so small the cameras almost lost him. They could not have been more different. And that difference, that's the whole story. Because for the next 2 decades, the entire sport would split itself in half and line up behind one of these two. Here's what people forget about how good it got. For about 10 years, these two didn't just compete, they hoarded the game's biggest individual prize, the Ballon d'Or, like it belonged to them. Between them, they won it 13 times. 13. In the entire history of football, no one else has won it more than 3. Think about that. For a decade, the award for the best player on the planet had 2 possible names on it. Yours was not one of them. And it was personal. In Spain, Messi wore the red and blue of Barcelona. Ronaldo wore the white of Real Madrid. Twice a year, the whole world stopped for 90 minutes to watch them go directly at each other. Every goal one scored, the other answered. Every record one set, the other chased down. This is the part the rivalry got wrong about itself. They thought they were enemies. They were actually the best thing that ever happened to each other. Take Ronaldo away, and Messi has no one forcing him to be perfect for 10 straight years. Take Messi away, and Ronaldo never becomes the machine that he turned himself into. They built each other, and they did it as complete opposites. One was the artist, low to the ground, impossible to read, the ball glued to his left foot like it was part of him. The other was the machine, built in the gym, hanging in the air above defenders' heads, a body sculpted on purpose into a weapon. One looked like a gift the football gods just handed over. The other looked like a man who refused to accept the gifts he wasn't given and built them himself, rep by rep. You didn't just pick a player, you picked a belief about how greatness is supposed to work, born or made. But here's where it splits, because for all the club trophies, all the Ballon d'Ors, there was one stage where both of them kept falling short, the one that matters most, the World Cup. Start with the number that should stop you. In the entire history of the tournament, back to 1930, through Pelé, through Maradona, through every legend you can name, only 2 men have ever played in 6 World Cups. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Not one above the other. Together, they share it. 2 careers so long, so relentless, they bent the record book into a shape it had never held, side by side, while being sold to us as opposites the entire time. 6 World Cups each, and for most of those, the same ending. Not enough. Which brings us to the heartbreak, And one of these two has more of it than almost any great player in history. Lionel Messi lost finals like other people lose keys. 2014, the World Cup final. Argentina against Germany. Messi, one game from the only thing he had ever truly wanted. They lose 1-0 in extra time. He walks past the trophy on the way to collect his runner-up medal and can't even look at it. 2015, Copa America final. Argentina lose on penalties to Chile. 2016, Copa America final. Argentina lose on penalties to Chile again. And this time, Messi steps up for his penalty and misses it. That was 4 major finals lost with his country. And that night, at 29 years old, on camera, Lionel Messi quit. He said, "I'm done with the national team." The greatest player of his generation walked away because the pain of getting that close, that many times, and losing, it broke something. And here is the detail that matters for the end of this video. He came back, just weeks later. And the reason wasn't the trophy. A new generation coming through his national team made it clear they needed him, that without him, they would never get back. So he came back, for them. Hold on to why he came back. Not for a trophy. That's the answer. I'm just not handing it to you yet. Because in 2021, with that younger team around him, Messi finally won something with Argentina, the Copa America. The dam broke. And 1 year later came the night that changed everything. But before we get to that night, the other man was writing his own impossible chapter. Because while Messi was losing finals, Cristiano Ronaldo did something Messi hadn't. In 2016, he dragged Portugal to the final of the European Championship, the biggest game of his international life. And 8 minutes in, a tackle wrecked his knee. He tried to play through it, bandaged up, limping, willing himself to stay on, until the 25th minute when his body simply refused. They carried him off on a stretcher, in tears, the biggest final of his life happening without him. And then, Portugal won it anyway. A substitute named Eder scored in extra time, and Cristiano Ronaldo, who could not even stand, won the biggest international trophy of his career from the sideline, screaming like a coach. So now you understand the balance. Messi had the heartbreaks, Ronaldo had a major international title. But neither of them, had the one that outranks all of it. And one of them was about to get it. Qatar, 2022. The World Cup final, Argentina against France. And what followed is by almost universal agreement, the greatest final the tournament has ever produced. Messi scores, Argentina go 2 up and look home and dry. And then one man almost tore the fairy tale to pieces. France's Kylian Mbappe, the kid being lined up as the heir to all of this, scored a hat-trick in a World Cup final, the first in over 50 years, and dragged France level. 3-3. It goes to extra time. It goes to penalties. And at the end of it, after 36 years of his country waiting, since 1986, since Maradona, Lionel Messi lifts the World Cup. The one trophy that had haunted his whole career. The reason he'd once quit. He got it. By the logic of 20 years of arguing, that should have ended everything. One has it, one doesn't. Game over. So why didn't it feel settled? Because the people on the other side didn't switch. They didn't go quiet. A trophy didn't end a religion. It never does. And that tells you something the scoreboard never could. This was never actually about trophies. Keep that question close. Who got what they came for? Because the answer is almost certainly not the name you're thinking of right now.
Because the other man is still chasing.
Cristiano Ronaldo has won almost everything a footballer can win. League titles in 4 different countries, that European Championship, individual awards stacked so high they stopped feeling real. But there is one thing, one he has never lifted: the World Cup. And in 2026, at 41 years old, he has said it out loud. This is his last attempt, the final shot at the only gap left on the shelf. Think about what that takes. 41. In a sport that throws players away a decade younger. He didn't drift into this tournament. He dragged himself to it, year after year, refusing to let go of the one prize that keeps slipping away. The same refusal that got him off that stretcher in 2016. And here's the uncomfortable part nobody likes to say. He might not get it. The most relentless forward of his generation could walk out of his final World Cup with that one space still empty. Forever. And here's a number that makes it sharper. Before this summer, Ronaldo had played 5 World Cups. In all 5, he reached the semi-final exactly once, 20 years ago as a kid in 2006, and never once got past it. The biggest stage in the entire sport is the one that has humbled him the most. Which is the cruelty of 2026. It is the last room either of them will ever walk into. Because Messi, at 38, arrives as the defending champion. He turns 39 in the middle of the group stage. He will celebrate his birthday on a World Cup pitch, knowing it is almost certainly the last one he will ever play. And Ronaldo, at 41, arrives chasing the only thing that ever escaped him, knowing this is the end of the road. 2 men, the same summer, the same last chance. And somewhere out there is the script the whole world is too superstitious to say out loud. That the draw could send them, one knockout round at a time, all the way to the same final. The only way these two ever share a World Cup pitch again. Football has never written an ending like that. It might not now, but for one summer, it's on the table, and everyone feels it. Every neutral, every commentator, every kid who grew up on these two. Secretly, quietly, they all want the same impossible thing. One last time. Opposite ends of the same pitch, everything on the line. Nobody will say it out loud, because saying it out loud might jinx it. But it's the only ending that would do 20 years justice. And whatever happens, it does not change the answer to the question I asked you at the start. We're one step away. Here it is. Who got what they came for? The easy answer is Messi. He has the trophy. He has the ending. He has the fairy tale. And Ronaldo, by that logic, leaves with a hole in the shelf. But turn it around. What did Ronaldo actually come for back in 2006? Not a piece of metal. A 21-year-old doesn't claw at the game for 2 decades for an object. He came to be remembered, to matter, to be one of the only 2 names that outlast everyone else. And by that measure, he won years ago. The missing World Cup doesn't shrink him, it's the evidence of how far he reached. You only get to fall short of the World Cup if you're great enough to still be there. At 41, still trying, when everyone your age stopped a lifetime ago. The chase is the legacy. The hunger that never let him quit is the exact thing that made him impossible to forget. So here's the truth: the 20-year argument was too loud to hear. They both already got what they came for. They came to be the 2 names you can't say apart. Messi and Ronaldo. Ronaldo and Messi. 2 religions, 1 era, and you cannot tell the story of either one without the other standing at the far end of the pitch. The trophy was never the point. Each other was the point. And when they go, and they are going, football has a problem it has never had in your lifetime. For 20 years, you always knew who the 2 best players on earth were. After this summer, for the first time, nobody will. A new generation is already fighting for that empty throne. But here's the thing they'll never get back. They'll have to do it alone. None of them will have what Messi and Ronaldo had, a perfect rival, the exact same size, pushing them every single day for 2 decades. Whoever ends up wearing the crown next will be brilliant, but they'll be brilliant in an empty room. No mirror, no equal breathing down their neck, no one their exact size to make them dread losing as much as they love winning. That's the part that's actually ending this summer. Not two careers, a format. The greatest two-player rivalry sport has ever seen, and probably ever will.
In 2006, two kids walked onto a World Cup pitch for the first time, on opposite sides, and split the world in two. In 2026, they walk on for the last time, the only two men ever to do it 6 times, and the world finally understands it was never a war. It was the greatest partnership football has ever had, hiding inside a rivalry. One leaves a champion, one leaves still chasing. And the answer to who got what they came for is the one the argument could never accept. They both did, the moment they had each other. So when you watch them this summer, whichever side you're on, understand what you're really seeing. It's the end of the only era where both of them existed at once. That's what you're actually watching. One word, honestly, do you think Ronaldo gets what he came for this summer? Tell me in the comments. If this hit different, if you felt something, hit like. It's the last time we'll ever see both of them here. This is the Untold 11, the World Cup, one untold story at a time. There's another impossible story waiting in the next one, and you won't believe who it is. Watch it next.